Hello, everyone. So I'm here to talk to you today about South Western Railway's approach to biodiversity and its link to our decarbonisation roadmap and how it supports the performance of our network through strengthened climate resilience. So South Western Railway is one of the larger train operating companies in the UK. The network runs from southwest London through to southwest England, going all the way down to the Isle of Wight, alongside the coast to Weymouth, and then up to Salisbury and Exeter. This is known as the Wessex network, and it spans approximately 1,300 miles wide and with over 200 stations. The network is home to a wide range of animals and plant species, which we hope to protect and help flourish. The map behind me shows a snapshot of South Western Railway's network running through a number of protected sites. The Wessex network acts as a wildlife corridor, providing important links for habitats. We recognise the potential of our network to provide unique habitats for local plants, animals, and insects to thrive. So South Western Railway doesn't own the Wessex network. Instead, we lease our stations from Network Rail, who own and maintain the UK's railways. Network Rail is one of the largest landowners in the UK and have ownership of a number of the mitigations required to develop a climate-resilient network. We recognise that champion nature can ease climate disruption, helping us to adapt by providing natural flood protection and temperature regulation. And we have a number of work streams underway to champion nature on the Wessex network. Last year, we launched our Better for Our Future sustainability strategy consisting of 3 pillars: planet, places, and people, with a commitment to becoming biodiversity net positive by 2030 under our planet pillar. To be biodiversity net positive, we will halt and reverse nature's decline on our network and have an overall positive impact on nature. In the next year and a half, we will have produced biodiversity action plans for 50 locations on our network and would have made progress on implementing these. We will create wildlife corridors and community gardens in partnership with Network Rail. And during the last 12 months alone, we've converted the equivalent of 3 football pitches into biodiversity gardens in collaboration with RSPB. South Western Railway has signed the Nature Positive Business Pledge. As part of the pledge, we are mapping the biodiversity on our network. South Western Railway will assess its impact on nature through its business activities using a 2020 baseline year. The impacts will include the effects of greenhouse gas emissions, as well as impacts on nature through South Western Railway's supply chain. We'll be looking at the full life cycle of our train service from conception to delivery. We'll create a nature positive action plan to determine how South Western Railway will become nature positive and contribute to regeneration and restoration of nature. And we will establish what quick wins can be achieved, as well as any longer term challenges to overcome. Last year, South Western Railway launched its decarbonisation strategy. South Western Railway have committed to becoming net zero railway by 2040 and have backed this up with science-based targets. As the UK climate changes, we need to be prepared to adapt, both through reducing the resources we use and making sure our trains can still run effectively on our network. We will work with Network Rail to develop resilience plans so that we are better prepared for extreme weather. We will collaborate with stakeholders to identify risk areas and priorities in the Southwest region. We will also undertake a high-level carbon baseline of habitats within our management by assessing carbon sequestration. This will account for the progress on carbon impacts through habitat management. So the performance of South Western Railway's train service is regularly impacted by severe weather. In severe heat, rail temperatures can reach up to 20 degrees higher than air temperatures. The rail itself can expand with heat, increasing rail buckling, and signalling equipment can overheat and fail. The ground underneath the track can dry out and shrink, causing track to move with it, and this is known as soil moisture deficit. Last year, UK had the driest July since 1935, resulting in highest levels of soil moisture deficit since record keeping began in 2009. In these conditions, it's not safe to run trains at full speed with temporary speed restrictions introduced. In more serious instances of rail buckling, signal failure, and soil moisture deficit, we're not able to run services at all. The autumn season is surprisingly tough for the railway. Wet leaves fall on rails and are crushed to a slippery pulp by running trains. This causes trains to slip when accelerating and braking. This year, there were 10,000 leaf fall risk sites identified on the Wessex route. with dead, dying, or diseased trees a key contributor. This highlights the importance of climate resilience vegetation on our network. Floodwaters can rise above the rail, short-circuiting the conductor rail. Floodwaters also damage trackside points, signaling, and signaling equipment. It can wash away ballast, which supports the sleepers, destabilizing the track. This can lead to large-scale disruption and cancellation of services. In the last financial year, climate-related incidents accounted for 9% of SWR's total delays and 50% of our total cancellations. This photo shows track collapse due to a landslide in Hook caused by heavy rainfall in January earlier this year. So how can biodiversity support climate resilience on the Wessex network? We know that plants and trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and biodiversity-rich ecosystems such as forests, grasslands, and wetlands are particularly effective at storing carbon. Vegetation provides valuable flood protection. It slows down runoff and provides increased interception from flood control and storm surges. Vegetation roots provide stabilization for embankments, preventing landslides. And wetlands can absorb 40% of their weight in water, reducing flooding and improving water quality. The Motts MacDonald team have completed an indicative biodiversity mapping of the Wessex network. Key habitats identified are grasslands, woodlands, and fens. These habitats provide valuable ecosystem services, including climate resilience. And through the progression of the nature positive and climate resilience work streams, we hope to improve these habitats to maximize these benefits and improve the biodiversity of our wildlife corridors. Thank you very much.